was thinking about something the other day.
Yeah.
You know, like way back in maybe even caveman times or like colonial times.
Yep. I
Now-
remember them fondly.
Yes. So I was yawning the other day, and at my work, I have a lot of cameras that watch me all the time. And I was in the middle of making a face like, and kind of making a sound. And I thought to myself, there has to be some, probably not documented, but some point in history where someone was in mid yawn and
Mhm.
someone else thought they were turning into a monster and tried to kill them. This had to have happened. This had to have happened.
Yeah, I
What do you
believe
think?
it.
Yeah.
Like, well, if you think about like a lot of the reasons like the witch hunts happened,
Mm.
they were usually baloney. It's
Yeah,
complete
total
baloney.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's what I thought about. I texted my brother, and he's like, "What's wrong with you?" But
why do you
it's-
think these things?
Exactly. Well, another debate that we have all the time is where should you look when you're drinking? Like, where should you look when you're drinking from something? Are you supposed to like look down it like this? Like,
Do you know it's
see, where
it's
you-
something that's only bad if you're consciously thinking about
Yeah,
it.
because now take a drink. Where are you gonna look?
I don't know.
See, it's one of those things. You don't know what you're gonna do about it
Mhm.
all. So,
Yep.
yeah, this is a new podcast. It's much more laid back, which I think we both need.
Yes, we're outdoors now
We are outdoors. This is
without proper wind socks. So
no,
we'll see how that fares.
That's fine. But yeah, man. So we're keeping it laid back. Something I want to start off with, some kind of housekeeping news.
Yep.
What have you been playing?
I have not been playing too much, but mostly playing around in VR. Mostly Firelands, actually. I think that's the game that's like
Oh, you're still
keeping
playing
me
that,
coming back to VR. Yeah.
Explain. I can't recall it
So-
actually.
Firelands is this game, and the premise is that you're on this research vessel that goes to other planets,
Mhm.
and researches potentially sentient creatures on this planet.
Mhm.
So the game doesn't actually have the scope that it kind of sounds like. You're only on this one planet. There's 3 different sentient species.
Oh, you don't go to other planets.
No. just
Oh,
this
okay.
one planet. and
Okay.
you kind of unlock different locations on this planet that have different species.
Right.
And yeah, it's really based on this kind of appointment mechanic, because each day you go back and you fulfill the needs of the sentient species
Right.
that's there, and you gain like relationship with them or whatever,
Mhm.
and kind of bond with them and stuff. And
Can you like have sex?
no,
Oh, are you sure? How hard
maybe I
have you
haven't played
tried?
the game enough.
Yeah,
yet,
exactly,
but
yeah.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I
Um,
see some pixelated boobies. I guess polygonal boobies, thankfully.
Sure.
Yeah.
Either way, it's a really good game.
Nice.
It's very heavy on the whole teleport mechanic thing that a lot of VR games are doing, because movement in VR is tricky.
So you look where you want to go, and then you press a button on the little touch
Yeah,
mouse,
so you
or-
press a little button, and then it puts a locator with where you were looking,
Mm,
and
mm.
then if you change where you're looking, that'll change the direction you'll end up
Okay,
after you teleport.
gotcha.
It's actually really smooth,
Yeah.
and you get super really comfortable with it, and it just kind of clicks
Okay.
after you do it for a while. So yeah, it works really well. And,
Nice.
yeah.
Play anything else?
Not too much. I would like to get time to play some Elite Dangerous.
Yeah.
I'm a little busy recently, because that game is great.
Made me sick.
yeah,
Couldn't handle it.
that's fair. I tried some more Project Cars. I think I mentioned previously that game kind of made me a little motion sick.
You came into my room, and you're like, I don't feel right. I don't feel right at all. It threw you off. It looked like you just
Yeah.
like saw a ghost.
I tried it again, and it was better.
It was better. Okay, what kind of car were you driving? Were you driving
So the
something real
first-
fast?
Both times, yes. But
Oh.
the first time it was a go-kart.
Oh, the go-karts are nice to start off with, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think it's because it was so open. There's nothing around me, and I have so much freedom to look and stuff, and all the movements are exaggerated because you're in a smaller vehicle.
Yep.
I think that's what really threw off my motion sickness. The second time I was in, I forget what the car is. I think all the car brands in it are made up anyways, but it's like a legitimate like racing type car.
Yep.
And yeah, felt much
It was
better.
a lot better. Okay.
Yeah. It was still a little bit weird, but it was
Yeah.
something I could handle.
Yeah.
And I think part of that too might have just been getting my VR legs, is the term that it's being used for.
Absolutely. Plus, I think the fact that you're actually in a car, like I feel like that's something you can associate with more because you spend a lot more time in a car than probably a go-kart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, I get it. There are walls around me. Like it's just it
Yeah,
feels
and the more consistent point of
comfortable.
reference is
Yeah.
a lot better. Because in the go-kart, you only had like the kind of thing in front of you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then there's no bars on the side or anything. You're looking around. And
Yeah.
yeah, that is what it is. Cool. So that's what you've been playing.
Yep. tried out a few demos and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing
Nice.
major outside of that.
Cool. What have I been playing? I blasted through all of the first 3 Uncharted games. My opinions on them. So
Mhm.
the first one, really not that great. It's not a great game. It's a good game.
Yeah.
And I think it's a very necessary game for the next games.
Yeah, what do you
obviously.
think about it in like the context of when it was released, though?
Absolutely. I remember I played a smidgen of it when it was released.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is amazing. Like, it looked better
Mhm.
than everything else that was on the market at the time. And it was really quite good. And I mean, we weren't really getting a lot in stories with regards to story from games. Like, this was around 2007, right?
Yeah, I think
So,
so.
like, there wasn't really a big well to pull from. I don't even think Mass Effect was out yet. No, it wasn't. So, I mean, there wasn't much for it to compete with. And the Victor Sullivan relationship was really good. And then it formed a really strong bond between Nate and Elena. And then I'm not really going to get into spoilers for these because you should really play the games. They're actually fantastic if you haven't already. But then 2 was fantastic. But I really don't think it competed with 3. Everyone says that 2 is better than 3. Everybody's wrong. 2 is just so much more clunky than 3, and they fix so many little things. And while I do agree that Lazarevich is a better villain, it's just it's not a better game. You play the first bit where the train sequence is so awesome. The train sequence is pretty cool, but the beginning of Uncharted 3 is awesome. It reminds me of like the beginning of Temple of Doom. It was so good. Like, it starts off with that bar scene, and then like there's like a double cross and a triple cross, and it's like it's really cool the way it starts off. Like, it starts off like a movie. Like, they both show up in suits and they're carrying a briefcase. And
Yeah.
like it's so classic and iconic. And now I'm about halfway through Uncharted 4. I was going really hard into it, and then I started to get into a lot more development of my game. So I kind of kicked her on the side for now, but that's what I've been playing for the most part. I also picked up Dark Souls 3 again
Oh yeah.
the other day. I was playing as an archer. His name is the Leg Man. I think it's a nice name. It's fine. But yeah, other than that, I think I'm just gonna pick up Uncharted again. I mean, we got the Steam sale going right now, so
Yes, I'll definitely
I'm
be
thinking about something, but I don't know
dropping
what.
some dollars at the end of this week.
Yeah, what are you getting?
Yeah. There's a lot of games that have been out for like a decent length of time that I really want to pick up.
Yeah.
Tomb Raider, the reboot.
Like,
I haven't played that yet. The game's pretty old, and it's like $6.
oh, totally, man.
Like,
yeah,
it's a no-brainer.
And like, some people call it like a poor man's Uncharted. They're different.
Yeah.
They absolutely are different. And I highly recommend Tomb Raider. I think the first one was just called Tomb Raider.
Yeah, I think so.
It's a great game. Great game.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm excited for that. Another one I'm really excited for that I'm going to pick up is Darkest Dungeon.
Yes, that's it's not even a Souls-like game, but people call it a Souls-like game.
Dark
It's
and
not.
difficult.
Exactly.
People are like, that's Souls. I don't know. I'm really excited for it. It's a very depressing game, and I haven't played really a depressing game in a long while.
Yeah.
At least I don't find Dark Souls games depressing anymore. So yeah, I'm kind of excited to like kind of get back into that kind of atmosphere for a game. I've been playing too many upbeat and happy games.
I mean, a game that I found depressing when I played it, maybe it's just me, but like Binding of Isaac, that's a super depressing game.
Oh,
If you
yeah,
really,
it is.
he's crying away his demons. Like,
Yeah. That's also on
terrible.
sale, and I'll also be picking up.
Oh, you haven't played it?
I've played it like
Yeah.
a fair amount before, but I don't have it on my computer, so.
Right. No, absolutely pick
Why
that
not?
up. Yeah, I bought that years and years ago, but yeah, great game. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna buy. I mean, I was looking at some stuff, but the only thing I really want to buy that's on Steam right now is Just Cause 3, but it really won't work well with my setup, so I'm not even gonna pay the money.
Yeah.
And then
fair enough.
Arkham Knight, I want to play that too, but I'm told no dice, especially with my setup. Even though I'm above their recommended requirements, it's whatever.
Yeah.
But I guess they just don't like AMD cards.
Yeah.
Yes.
Warner Brothers.
Yeah, exactly. But Shadow of Mordor was a good port, so I don't
Yeah,
know. Maybe it's a different
I don't know.
company.
Shadow of
whatever.
Mordor was just good.
It was just a
It's
good game.
weird.
Yeah, man. So that's what I'm looking at picking up. But I did allude to something there. My
Mhm.
game, it's out. It's
Yes.
exciting.
Space Diver.
Space Dive. It's got such a dumb name.
I know.
it's a goofy concept in general, and yeah, I mean, I kind of had to go that route with it. If you've played it or checked it out, I'll toss a link in the description there. But it's totally an endless runner like clone. Like, it's an endless runner cookie clicker
Yep.
basically. It's not super polished at all, but I'm proud of it for what it is. You know, I made pretty much everything in there, and like the music and all that crap. Like it functions, it works, it's out.
It's a
Which is
very good
nice.
first game.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, what are we looking at here?
Low battery.
Oh, I thought you said the battery was good.
It said like 80 minutes or something.
Just a second. What's out, and it's certainly a thing. I made a trailer for it. We put it on the channel. I think I'm
Yeah.
gonna make another trailer for it that'll be kind of goofy. But yeah, and then I'll be done with it, and I'll move on. And there's some other games and stuff on the horizon, maybe potentially.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, talk of an adventure game, but yeah, man.
Yeah, I think it was a very, very good first game.
I don't know if it was good, but it was. I actually I got a little addicted to it, and I think if I let myself play it more, I think I would get more addicted to it. And if it was more polished, I think it could have an addicting quality. Because like one night, I probably stayed up for a good like 2 hours playing it. Actually, just like trying to beat my score.
Nice.
And I got a score of around 700. So if anyone can touch that, then you beat me. But yeah, I was pretty proud of myself with that. But yeah, so that's what I've been up to for the most part. Something I've also been doing a lot of is cycling.
Yes.
By God, I almost killed myself today. It was
Cycling some trails.
It was really bad. Yeah, I mean, if you're a good cyclist, you probably can kick my butt. But like I did 70 kilometers in about 3 hours and 45 minutes. So for me, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
And I was dying at the end. You came home and you're like, you should go swimming. I was like, I'm gonna kill you. I needed to get some food into me, take a shower, just get my head back. So that's good. It was nice, man. You went for a run too. You're doing more of that, eh?
I did a little more exercise, yeah. Trying to get swimming in the mornings because we live in a terrible, terrible place to swim, apparently.
What do you mean? Oh, like indoor
Just,
swimming.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Well, actually,
like,
even outdoor swimming.
yeah,
I was at the beach on the weekend, and the water was flipping cold.
flipping cold.
Flipping cold.
Wow, it's pretty cold.
Yeah, it is pretty cold.
Cold enough to require flips. Flips or flops, or is it a combination of the two?
Mostly flips.
Oh, no flops.
No.
Wow.
No
flops allowed.
You don't
Is
want to
that
flop.
kind of like a racist thing?
No, it's just hard to flop in the cold.
I
Although
think.
easier to flip.
Because of shrinkage.
Yes.
You go inverted, but you can still flip.
Yeah.
You can't flop when you're inverted.
Nope.
That's kind of the golden rule, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Need some surface area to flop.
Yeah, and if you don't have any surface area, flopping can't happen.
Exactly.
So where do flip flops come into the equation now?
Flip flops weren't good. Actually, we're very good
Yeah.
because the sand was
Got the
super
hot
warm.
sand. Yeah.
And you needed some feet protection.
Yeah, some like
So
armor
we-
for your feet, some
yeah,
foot wraps.
We live in this incredibly weird place where the sand is too warm and
too
the
hot.
water is too cold.
Yes. Maritime province. Cool. Yeah, you were at a like a beach house.
A cottage, as some would say.
A beach house.
Beach house.
Yeah.
That works too. Yep. Yeah, it was good. Just a little getaway. It's the first time that I had gone away from computer screens
In a while.
When did we go to Quebec?
No. You were away from computer screens for your Smash trip, weren't you? I guess
I was
technically not.
playing
You were.
Smash on
You went over
monitors.
to play. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, man, we went to Quebec like beginning of March.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was
That's
finding
a long time ago.
my eyes were feeling very strained.
Yeah.
This is from a lot of working, just staring at the screen and
Yeah.
bad stuff. It's not good.
All that stuff. It's not good for you. No, you gotta get away from the screen every once in a while.
Yeah.
Hence us being outdoors.
Yeah, it's nice.
Or no, it's kind of nice. Some noisy cars, but it's fine.
Yeah, enjoy the nice weather while we have it.
Oh my goodness, the days we've been getting, they're fantastic.
Yeah,
They don't
really
relate
great.
to anyone out there, but they've been fantastic.
No.
I even have a bit of like a burn going on right now, like a
me
whole
too.
farmer's tan. It's bad stuff. Well, it's good stuff, but it's bad stuff. But so let's talk about games. I guess that's something we talk about sometimes, eh?
Sometimes, yes.
What do you think about the games?
I thought you had something more specific than that.
I asked you about the games. That's pretty specific.
The games.
Yeah, the games.
Are we talking about like the games that are happening in Europe with the ball and the nets?
Netball? That's not a sport.
I think it's
Stupid.
something called football.
They kick feet? That's disgusting.
That is disgusting.
Ugh. I wouldn't like that at all. Ball made of feet wouldn't tumble very well.
Yeah.
Maybe it would, but wouldn't have much bounce to it. More of a crunch
Yeah.
than anything else. No, so what do you think about games? What's new in games, Kev?
I don't know. My mind's like almost entirely preoccupied by VR.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been thinking about it a lot,
Mhm.
playing around with it a lot, and I'm really curious where it'll go. There's actually this Ask Me Anything on Reddit today
For
with
who?
30 plus different
Developers?
VR developers.
Oh, cool.
Super interesting. They were all like answering the questions, just seeing like the variety of opinions. Because
Yeah.
some of them are like, "Oh yeah, VR is definitely the future. It's a new paradigm." Other ones were like, "Yeah, I don't think it'll really take off
Oh, really?
or be anything beyond a niche like racing sims are."
There's certainly a possibility that it could just be a flash in the pan.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely a possibility. We talk about the VR on the channel a lot, and I think if people watch the channel, like, we're very about VR.
Yep.
Very much about VR. I think it allows for new opportunities, and I think applying it only to gaming is just a small fraction of what you can achieve with this type of technology.
Yeah. And definitely, I think one mistake that a lot of people are making are thinking about VR in the context of how it works currently. Like, one of the near future things are definitely going to be just untethered VR, not needing to have that computer and the cable and everything.
Yeah, I mean, that's
along with
Google's
you.
plan, right? And, like, if you've played, like, a Samsung Gear VR, it's really not that bad. And this is the first iteration of that. Like, it's only going to get better. Phones are only going to get more powerful, and people are going to understand how to program for something like that better.
Yep.
So this is the worst VR is going to be. And that's pretty fantastic because it's really not that bad.
Another thing, they were asking questions about the PSVR experience, and pretty much all the developers unanimously said it was awesome.
Really?
Yes.
I actually thought you were going to go the other direction with that. Interesting. So Sony's actually pulling it off.
Yes, it seems. So some developers are saying that they actually thought it was more clear and less of the screen door effect than
Really?
Vive and Oculus. And we know it has the possibility to go up to 120 hertz.
Yeah.
Which is even better than the 90 hertz that Vive and Oculus run at. So if they can manage to pull off really performant games and really good experiences, it could be awesome.
But with the power of the system, what kind of images can you really push to those lenses?
Yeah, that is a worry, but I'm starting to become more and more of the theory that it doesn't matter too much. You need to hit a certain resolution and you need to hit a certain frame rate. But what's going on in the background, you can actually have a lot of leeway with. Because if you go back and play like a game on a emulator and just up the resolution, like, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Right? That game's not being held back at all.
Right.
By the simplistic graphics. And not only that, but like the simplistic and artsy graphics just work better in VR.
They age
than the
very
realistic
well
ones.
too. I mean, go look at Wind Waker.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
that's all I pretty much
Prime
need to say
example.
there.
Yeah,
absolutely. So this is interesting that you're saying this now because I distinctly remember almost exactly a year ago. I was talking to you and we weren't as tight as we are now just because we didn't live together at the time. And I was like, "Let's talk VR," and you're like, "Okay," and I'm like, "So PSVR is the thing." You're like, "Never gonna make it off the ground. That's gonna be terrible. It's gonna blow up in their faces. Never gonna work. They're stupid." You said something along those lines.
Yes, I will admit I was wrong because I don't know. It is very impressive that they're hitting those specs. Super impressive.
I don't
It's even
understand
more
how they
impressive
are.
that they're hitting them at that price point.
Yeah. It's only $400.
Yeah.
Well, you have to get the camera, and I would recommend the controllers as well. So that's an extra $100, but it's still coming in cheaper than the competition.
Yeah. Definitely. And it was another thing that's kind of funny that the developers are saying about it is, they're mostly PC-oriented developers, so it's generally developing for VR is easier on PC.
Right.
And these are people who've made PC games in the past, but they're, starting to touch consoles. And a lot of them were saying, oh, it's actually really, really nice to develop for a console with one set of specs.
Yes.
You don't have to be pulling out and putting in graphics cards and testing all these different setups and stuff. You know what your specs are.
So speaking of the one set of specs that you bring that up, it got my wheels turning here.
Yeah.
So is having the different SKUs, which it seems like both companies are trying to do now with Xbox and Project Scorpio rather, and with PlayStation and the Neo, is that going to make development more difficult for those studios because now there are multiple SKUs for each console?
Honestly, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal.
Oh, really?
So one of the things that makes PC especially hard is because you can
The
mix and match
configurations, yeah.
parts. Yeah. If you only have, 1, 2, or 3 different setups, not a big deal. Even mobile currently is better off than PC is.
Yeah.
Because, there is a whole bunch of different SKUs and a whole bunch of different configurations, but it is a limited number.
Yeah.
And I guess PC is technically a limited number too, but it's
a massive number.
Yeah, it's so much more
Massive.
vast simply because of the configurability.
Right. And just the way things are working and all the parts and
Yeah.
how they're coming together. Yeah, so you don't think it's going to be much of a difference? Do you think that's going to be kind of a change in the industry? Do you think we're going to reach a point where game consoles will be like cell phones?
Yeah, I think Microsoft previously said that's kind of where they want to go, where they update their console more regularly, but it's the same platform.
Right.
From console to console.
And Shuhei said the same concept.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's there's definitely going to be a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we're going to get another generation past that. I mean,
not at least the generations that we know.
Yeah,
currently.
they're going to be something different, and that's really interesting.
Yeah, and I feel like the Neo and the Scorpio are really the first steps there.
Yeah.
Where there are these much shorter kind of time frame between consoles, but
And while you think it's a shorter time frame, it's still they're backwards compatible. They can still play the older games, so
yeah.
It's really extending the life of the console.
Yep.
If you kind of think about it like that, I don't know how the general consumer is going to react to it, because the only real reactions that we have right now are from the hardcores in the community.
Yep.
Because they're the only people paying attention.
Yep.
They're the people that watch E3. They're the people that do this. There haven't really been ad spots or anything like that. So that's when we're going to see what average Joe gamer who picks up an NFL game every year. You know what I'm talking about? Like, we're going to see that reaction.
Yeah. Do you know what my guess is?
It's
exactly because of that, like, NFL type mentality, is we're going to see the consoles being sold at a profit, and the profit from selling consoles year over year, new consoles year over year, actually being kind of significant because of all the people who always want the new one.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like the whole premise of why mobile makes money as well. People want what you give them.
But at the same time, if I turn on my 8-year-old PS3, it works no problem. I have a 3-year-old phone. She is having troubles. Big troubles. Like, things are just breaking down. And it's a good phone. It's an HTC One M7. Like, it's not a bad phone, but I definitely need an upgrade. And people are like, "Oh, that phone's 3 years old." It's only 3 years old.
Yeah.
So are we going to reach that point with consoles?
I hope not.
I certainly hope not.
I think it's mostly a platform problem.
Yeah.
Because if they're not developing the platform with the older generations in mind, then you're going to have that mobile problem where they're updating things under the assumption that people are on newer hardware.
And if you don't have the specs to be able to run that update, then
things bogged down.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that'll be especially bad, especially since most games are at least how console games are developed now, are very tight with their performance. They don't really allow much of a window of messing up.
So when we get something like this, I'm just curious how E3 press conferences are going to look when someone's trying to show off the game. Obviously, they're going to want to show it off looking the best it possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're going to try and sell you a crappier version of it.
Mm-hmm.
But
you're getting the crappier version because you're on the weaker console.
That's your choice, I guess. Yeah. And if you want the pro experience or whatever you want to call it, then you can pay the premium experience. Let's say you can pay the premium price. Mm-hmm. It's interesting. I don't know. I don't know how general gamers are going to react. I mean, there's a lot of hate out there, but gamers tend to have a lot of hate just in general over everything.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's a lot of noise, but I'll be interesting to see what it'll be interesting to see what happens when all the noise kind of settles.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be a while until we see what's really happening with it. I think we're going to have to get through a generation of two or two of it before people get kind of used to it and it just kind of becomes how things are.
Right.
And until things settle down like that, then we won't really know whether it's working or not.
So who do you think is taking the better approach then? Because we have Xbox going with the very large leap with regards to the specs in their console. Now, I don't know much But 6 teraflops just sounds like a large number to me.
It's a large number. I
Yeah.
think. Is that what the 1080 was pushing?
This is pushing like a 1080?
Yeah.
That's pretty beefy. Wow. Okay, now I have that number in my mind. That's very powerful.
Yes, it is.
And with regards to the PS4, I can't remember the numbers off the top of my head. They're only rumored numbers, whereas Xbox's numbers are confirmed. It's much less significant of a gap.
Yep.
So who's taking the correct approach? Who do you think is going to win this race?
It's kind of tough to tell. I think they both have really good opportunities because the Scorpio is probably going to be more expensive and the Neo is probably going to be cheaper.
Yeah.
And I don't know. We've seen that before, where there's a cheaper console and there's a more expensive console. And when that happens, it seems like they each have their own portion of the market share, and both those market shares seem pretty equal. I think what gets really, really important is how early are they getting to market.
And something I noticed that was interesting, because I feel like the even internally in each studio, it seems like the marketing is a little mixed. Because I remember you sent me a Kyle Bozeman. Is that his name?
Kyle Bozeman, yeah.
Yep. Fantastic YouTube channel. You definitely check him out. But he was talking about it, and I forget the specific individual that said it, but they said with regards to Project Scorpio, he's like, well, if you don't have a 4K TV, there's no sense in even buying this. So that's interesting.
They recanted that comment.
Yeah.
It was kind of incorrect. It was. They're really trying to play up the 4K part of it, and I think it's because it's the only real easy to understand thing for consumers.
Yeah,
because they're seeing 4K TVs get pushed.
Yeah,
and they're gonna be like, "Oh, I have a 4K TV. I want to use my games.
I want to use my yes, exactly."
So it's a very good marketing opportunity. It's a lot easier than saying 6 teraflops.
Exactly. What does that mean to Joe consumer? It means nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. How many teraflops do I have? Why do I care?
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know. It's a little bit important because at least for the people who go to gaming websites, we'll say, hey, this puts out more than this other thing.
But then are we going to run into issues where, oh, dude, do not buy this game on Gen 1 of this type of console because it runs like trash. Like, you need at least Gen 2.
Yep. I think we'll see that.
That's concerning.
Yeah, it's concerning, and it's really not fantastic.
Because if it has the name of my console on it, I'm going to try and play it on my console. Like, that's I think that's a logical thing to do.
Yeah. What I at least hope is that they don't make it any worse than PC gaming is. It's PC gaming currently. Your PC can last you 4 years.
Yeah.
About as long as you build it like to a decent spec.
Yeah.
If you build it to a super high spec, then it should last you like 6 years.
But on the plus side, with the PC, you can spend just like $200 and get yourself a like a 480.
Yep.
And then you're good for another little while, right? And you can kind of chip away at it as you go, so it's not like you have to shill out an extra $600. It's like a couple $100 here, a couple $100 there. Like, it's not as significant.
Yeah, I think this is the other part of what Microsoft said with doing the kind of more mobile thing is to have the consoles kind of more contracted, so that people are paying over time instead of paying all up front.
How would that work now? A contracted console?
You're already on a contract with the console, either Xbox Live or
I
PlayStation
guess so.
Plus.
Yeah, so you're paying off the.
Yeah.
So then, because I feel like we're gonna reach a future where there is no, you can't just go out and buy an Xbox or a PlayStation. You buy a subscription to it.
Yep.
And then
you take
that
one
allows you to play the games.
Take one home, and you have access to everything, and you just get money deducted from your bank account every month.
Yep. So then, are you talking about a physical box that has the hardware that's running the game?
Yeah, we're not at the point that the what are the companies that did it? The online streaming services.
Gaikai.
Yeah,
was a big one. Yep.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff. We're
Yep.
not at the point that that's actually available to a giant market. If
You
you're letting
need
people
good
take
internet,
hardware
yeah.
home, then you can guarantee the performance.
But I certainly feel like that streaming content is going to be the future. And I don't think you're exactly on the same page with me. You definitely have more knowledge with regards to how many bytes you can fit through a cable or whatever. But
it can possibly work. It definitely can.
it's just the latency issue.
Well, there's a tiny latency issue, and that definitely becomes more prevalent based on the game types.
In like Twitch games, yeah.
Yeah. But another thing that's really what's problematic for right now, and this may not be true in the future, but it's definitely going to be problematic for quite an amount of time, is how many people have access to internet that's good enough.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's definitely going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Because there's, even in a lot of areas in the States, the internet's a lot worse than I would expect it to be.
Yeah.
like EMB can barely upload a video because his internet's so bad.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. It's real issues if you're like anywhere away from a metropolitan area.
Yeah, I thought we lived in like a crappy area, but like our internet's pretty quick. So
pretty quick. Like
it's
we are
not
in
super
Canada,
fast.
so it's expensive.
Yeah,
But
exactly. Yeah,
other
we
than
only
that,
get
it's really
like
not too bad.
15 up. Kind of sucks. Or is
Yeah.
it 10 up? Yeah, and then like 100 down.
20 up, 100
Yeah,
down,
20
I
up,
think is
100
what
down.
it is.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. But yeah, definitely solving the internet issue. But I'm hoping in like 40 years, all of us will have Google Fiber. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would be awesome. We'll see where that goes. Honestly, what I prefer is just a much more socialist type of idea where everybody just has internet.
It's like a utility.
Yeah, it's just a regular utility. You pay your water bill and you pay your internet bill. And which one costs more is based on how often you showered.
That's interesting. Do you think we'll ever reach that point?
I don't know. I certainly hope so.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a very
It's pretty much a vital service at this point. Like
it pretty much is. And
it's
there's a number of
very
places
essential.
that have declared it like a human right
yeah.
to have access to internet. But I don't know, like taking away the whole ISP market kind of stuff is very
Yeah, I mean, they're very much against that.
Yeah.
At this point,
Yeah.
I remember it was a couple of years back where we were having some infighting about that of what was going on. It was they were
caps?
slowing down specific sites as well, and just some little things like that.
Yeah. So that's interesting because the U.S. has declared them to be, a service.
Hmm.
And if you're a service in the U.S., then you need to provide equal service to everybody and not like take sides and stuff. That's part of the. They're grouped in with like radio and television and stuff like
Right.
that, which I think makes sense.
Yeah.
It's very similar. It's the same companies, anyways. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I feel like this is moving to like political territory.
it is a little bit. It's not really my forte.
No, mine either. I know that Trump sucks, but that's pretty much it.
I think everyone knows that.
Yeah, I think everyone absolutely does know that. Something I do want to talk about, though, with regards to politics, we're a little removed from the situation now, which is nice. You remember this whole Elbowgate thing, right?
Yeah.
Now, okay, you can say your thing about Elbowgate, but I'm going to dive a little different direction.
Okay.
What are you going to say, though?
It was stupid and kind of funny.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's our brand. I don't know. I don't know what you think
Almost,
we do
yeah.
here. But
Fair enough. What were you gonna say?
so what I'm going to say is, so what bill was it for? You don't know, and that's part of the problem. And
Yeah.
I think of you as more of someone who's a little more connected than average people. No one even knows what it was for. And that's the problem. It was for assisted dying, a very important bill that was very controversial. And what was happening there was the NDP did not agree with that particular tactic. So what they, not tactic, that particular type of bill, they didn't feel that it went far enough.
Mm.
So what they did was they tried to literally block the person from making the vote so that the vote couldn't be made, so that they could belabor it, so that they wouldn't be able to pass the bill.
Yeah.
Is basically what was going on there. And this is maybe just an issue with the media right now, but everyone was talking about Elbowgate. No one was talking about the bill, the actual important thing, the issue at hand.
Yeah. The dirty tactics by the NDP.
Yeah, exactly. But isn't this a sad state of affairs that we live in? When
It's
that
pretty bad.
is the
Yeah.
particular thing that's focused on rather than the actual issue. And it's an important issue. I mean, regardless of your opinion on the matter, it's important.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
I don't know. That's where I stand on that. The whole farce going on over in the States, I don't even want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. Good lordy.
Or the farce in Britain.
Yeah. it's interesting. I think it was just very misguided people not knowing what result they would get.
Yep.
And
Just a lot of that. Just a lot of people playing cards that they shouldn't have been playing.
no, I don't even know why he would open it up like that. Like
It's
he put it all in black and black didn't come in. You know what I mean? Like it's ooh.
that is it. Like David Cameron never thought it would win,
Yeah.
and he just felt like opening it up would win over some people by saying,
he's
"Hey,
like,
at least we're listening to you and
Exactly.
letting you be heard."
Well, now they're hurt and he stepped down, which honestly is probably the only good thing he's done to step down like this. Yeah, let's get out of this bad situation. I don't know enough about it to talk intelligently.
Yeah,
about it all.
me neither. I've
I know
mostly just heard opinions from my British coworkers. and
straight
stuff.
up, I just watched a couple John Oliver videos and I'm like, I know everything now.
Yep.
No, I don't. I don't know anything. But moving back into games, what you got? Throwing it to you now.
Is there more to talk about here?
There's always more to talk about. There's always more games. Things coming out.
I don't
What are you-
know.
what are you
Things are kind
excited
of
for this
slow
year?
right now.
What are you excited for this
Anyways.
year coming out?
This year,
Yeah.
I don't even know at this point. I think
Yeah.
everything I was looking forward to this year was Dark Souls 3 and VR, and I have both of those now.
Yeah. I don't see anything this holiday season that I'm like, yes, I
Yeah.
need it. Like nothing.
For me, like the touch controllers are supposed to come this year. Pretty excited for that because
So you can touch yourself.
that's exactly what the touch
Gotcha.
controller is for.
I think so.
So yeah, I'm excited for that because that'll be cool. But
Mm.
outside of it, like no games that have really piqued my interest. Now that I'm interested for what the next FromSoft game is.
Yeah, I wonder when we're gonna get an announcement on that.
Yeah, Legend of Zelda would be cool. That's not
2017.
this year.
Yeah. So it's gonna be launching with the NX,
Yes, apparently launch title.
but it's not exclusive launch title because it will be going on a Wii U because you
Yeah.
gotta give the poor bastards at least one Zelda game.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus.
It's a rule.
It is a rule. It has to happen. So now that we're talking about this, I wanna throw something back at you.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're gonna give me the wrong answer,
The wrong one.
but I'll try and swing you towards the right answer.
Sure.
What's the best Nintendo console?
Ooh.
If you say it, I swear to God, I'm gonna smack you over the head with a bottle. You know what I think you're gonna say.
Do not smack me because there are worse answers.
You're wrong.
There are worse
It's
answers.
not the. Oh my gosh.
It's really difficult. I think the correct answer, not my personal opinion,
Mm-hmm.
because I have opinions, but I think the correct answer is the Super Nintendo.
I would agree with that.
Yes.
The SNES was just. It was big. Those of you who know me, I don't give a shit about Nintendo, but the SNES was important. I didn't own one, but
Yep.
I understand that it was a very important console, and it really brought gaming to a different level. And so many fantastic games were on the SNES.
Yep, definitely. It's brought a lot of new things, which is hilarious because the NES brought a whole bunch of new things. It made home consoles exist.
It did, yeah. After the crash of '84, everyone was like, and then Nintendo comes out, and it's like, whoa,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah, so I feel like that's the correct answer. But my personal opinion is probably towards the GameCube, and this is what you're frowning about. I will back up my answer because I feel like the GameCube is when Nintendo was pretty much at the height of knowing what they were doing, which is something that they
I can
completely
agree with
lack
that.
right
I
now.
can absolutely agree with that, actually.
You know, they learned so much from the N64, and they had so many successes in the N64. And, you know, they tried to bring that over to the GameCube. They messed up a little bit selling Rare, and maybe the mini DVD format was not perfect.
In their defense, though, Microsoft didn't do anything with Rare, so realistically.
That is true. Yeah, so it's not a perfect console, but it's very, very near and dear to me because there were so many fantastic games on there. They were mostly child-oriented, but, you know, there's also fantastic, kind of more mature games. Resident Evil 4 being the poster child.
Everyone definitely goes back to that one.
Yeah.
I've never played it, but I hear it's good.
Never been a huge fan of Resident Evil games, but
Did you play that one?
Only a tiny bit.
Okay.
Yeah, it was not my style. It's like purposefully clunky. And yeah, some people can dig it.
Have to pee. I think that just about wraps her up. Had to get pee. Finish my beer. You didn't finish yours
Nice.
though. You got to finish your beer.
No.
I think that's gonna be a thing for this now. We go until the beer's done. Plus, on the plus side,
We're trying to get healthy. This is not.
one beer
not the
every
path.
week. In comparison to what were we doing for Drunk Souls? Good Lord. I think we're good. We both have like each 10 beer a night. At least. On the final episode, which you haven't seen yet, by God, we drink so much. It's terrible.
There was a picture on our Facebook account, I believe.
Yes, yep. And a destroyed watermelon that makes... Oh, no, wait, no. It wasn't destroyed at that point.
It was whole at
But
that
it
point.
becomes very destroyed at the end of the episode. Kevin got a big pile in his chair, and it was just like, it looked like he peed himself. Just destroying this watermelon. And then he says to me the next day, he's like, do we even beat the game? It's like, yeah. You just had a face for a watermelon. Couldn't see anything.
It's great.
Yes, that's it. So, I don't know. Let us know what you think of this new style. It certainly works better for me. Just less actual editing work so that it's not doing this every day and this is the only thing I can do.
Yep.
Because we definitely have the next channel go up, and what are we going to call it? I think we came up on a name, but we're not sure yet.
Yeah.
We'll let you know
Not
later.
positive. We'll let you know once it's made because that's
Yes.
important to claiming a name.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
That's what they say. What are we going to call this show?
NameCast?
This is still NameCast?
I think so.
Let's call it LameCast. It's lame. No. Okay, we're going with NameCast still, eh?
Yep.
NameCast 2.0?
I don't know. Should we call it season 3? Should we organize the namecasts? I feel like we should.
That's a you task.
Sure.
That
is very much
that
a
has
task.
Kevin written all over it. I would just be like, I don't know, just name them. Okay, cool. So we're gonna take off. Actually, we can literally say this now because it has gone from like afternoon to night. Night, guys.